We are going into week 6 of quarantine. Now, I'm only smiling when I say that because I want to be very conscious this week, and I want everyone to try to do the same and be very empathetic and sympathetic to what other people are going through. You know, there's this fear because we could all be so contagious that people are the enemy when we're walking around, and it's this odd time, and people want to be connected with their loved ones and they want to be connected with other humans in general. So just saying, go into week 6 with a big smile and trying to be there for other people that are having a harder time than maybe you are, and just understanding that we are all in a very crazy place right now, and every day, every hour is different. And real estate is no exception. So people are always asking what's happening in the real estate market right now. Well, as you all know, if you've been following my show, inventory is very tight and there's a high buyer demand, and we have a California housing crisis and shortage. And this pandemic is actually exacerbating that a bit. So looking at the market in the last couple weeks to see what's been happening. So this will be week 4 and week 5 from when we really started to do the shelter in place, starting on the 13th. So for the last 2 weeks in the single family residential, so detached homes, we had 19 new listings come to the market. We had 12 new listings last week. So this is about the same as what we've been seeing. Beginning of the month, we had a few more listings, but right now we're seeing about an average of 20 coming to, a little under 20 come into the market. We had 9 properties go into escrow. That means that a buyer wrote an offer that was accepted. And the 2 weeks prior, we only had 5 and 3. So a lot more properties went into escrow this past week. Now there were 13 sold. 13 homes sold, which is the same as the last couple of weeks. So we're not seeing a decrease in the amount of homes that are selling, which is interesting. And then we've also had a reduction in the properties that were taken off the market. So we only saw 14 homes taken off last week as opposed to about 17 the week prior. Now, the condo market over the last couple weeks, and that's for Westside LA proper, we are seeing 12 new listings come to the market last week, which is lower than the last 2 weeks, which was 17 new listings each week. And then we're seeing about the same amount of properties go under contract. We had 9 last week, 11 the week prior, 9 the week prior, and then we had 10 condos that were taken off the market completely, meaning they've gone on hold or they were withdrawn, and that is less properties than the 2 weeks prior. We had 10 and 16. Now we have the exact same number of sold properties, which is very interesting. Now the averages for both the single family and the condo market, we're seeing an average of $1,035 a square foot for single family homes. We are seeing about $800 a foot for condos. The days on market is staying a little bit under 30. And what's interesting to note is the sale price to list price ratio is still staying between 2 to 4%. So properties that are listed, you're seeing about 2 to 4% of the sale price to list price. Now, what really does this all mean? It means that even though there's a pandemic, there's still properties being sold, there's still people with needs to buy and sell, and there's still people that, although unemployment is on the rise and things are challenging for a lot of industries, there are people that are still not surviving, but thriving right now and able to get their family into a home. You know, of course, you have to understand that real estate is not about riding the market or investments. Real estate is an essential need for people, whether it's job transfers, babies, divorce, growing old, needing to downsize. So there's a lot of important things to look at besides just riding the wave and the fear factor of making an investment at the wrong time. Now, California Association of Realtors released a report for March talking about the amount of sales. There hasn't been an impact in price per square foot, but what has happened is there's a larger proportion of sellers pulling out of the market than buyers. So you're seeing 54% of sellers pulling back and only 44% of buyers pulling back. Now, what does this essentially mean? This essentially means that less inventory is coming to the market, the margins are tighter, more buyers are trying to buy even less inventory out there right now. The predictions are that property values are going to do a rapid V down and up over Q2 before coming out very strong in Q3. Of course, these are unprecedented times. We're not exactly sure what is going to happen, but all the economists and all the facts are pointing to exactly this. What we're seeing on the Keri White team, we're seeing a lot of activity and a lot of desire and motivation from our buyers. Of course, not everybody's in this boat, but we're seeing just maybe even more activity than usual. So we're very grateful for everybody we're working with. If you have any questions about buying or selling in Los Angeles, we are here to help. And just remember that week 6, the focus is to stay empathetic towards others and try to be a support for what people are going through. You never know what that stranger on the street just found out about or heard about. So we want to make a positive difference, especially during this time. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care.